Welcome to 3D Learning Health Video 5. This series is about milk and honey and the tweaking of the DNA so that people don't have any allergies. Who will benefit and whose rights are to be held as more important. That's the whole issue, and today we're going to look at 3 levels of questions to help us create that extra little thinking, because as a debate we need lots of information. There are 3 levels of discussion, and each level is progressively more challenging, and we want to encourage students to follow this formula. In a conversation or discussion, it's easy to have everything short. We use 2 or 3 words or 1 word, and if we know the other person very well, we don't have to speak a lot, because we already have that history, we have that knowledge in our head. But in a normal conversation where you maybe are in a job, or you are needing to present something, or you want to dialogue on something specific, choose this. 1 statement. 1 is statement. The first one. 1 plus 3. 3 support ideas. 2, information about where you want to go next. Do you want to continue this conversation in the same direction? Do you want to change it? 2. That's 2. 2 sentences about that. And the last one is a question to ask for information, change direction. But because you've already given 2 information, then changing that direction is very easy to be understood. 1 7-word answer, 7 sentences, 7-word sentences and answers. 7 is a great idea. If you use 2 or 3 words, nobody understands what you're talking about, or you're talking about not understanding, and then you don't get the response you want, and you're disappointed. So add 2 more. 1 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, 7 sentences. Continue this until each level is complete. So you have about 14 questions, 3 different levels, and you want to follow this notes idea as they work through the answers. Take notes of everything people say. So you can say, this person said this, and this person said that. If you don't have notes, then it's kind of confusing, and in the beginning, 1 or 2, it's not so hard, but as you get farther down the road in the discussion, then it's confusing what they said exactly. And then they will change their answers, and you won't be able to support your disagreement. So don't let students do less than the formula if you can. We'll talk about that in a minute. Encourage disagreements. Always disagree. In this class, you want to disagree. Always disagree. Always challenge. But when you challenge, have some support. I heard, I read, I know, a friend said. Okay? I think is really nice, but you shouldn't use it too much, because I think is just, you're just thinking, which is nice, but you don't know anything. Okay? So make responses with statements about facts, not assumptions. When assumptions are made, they should be challenged. Always challenge. In this class, we challenge and rebut, which is oppose. Create an opposition statement and support it. Don't just disagree, but disagree with some support. Okay? It builds energy, it builds excitement, you feel good, you feel like fighting. But this is not a fight. Don't get too emotional. Just keep that facts and statements, stick to the issue. That's the hard part. But you want to do it so you can develop your argument later. Always write long answers. Use as much of the vocabulary you learned. You have lots of vocabulary, and if you read the story, you'll find much more. And choose, like I said before, choose the ones which fit your story. Fit what you're going to argue. Don't get excited about those abstract ones. Only those that fit, and you put that in your outline, stick to them. Build on them. Those are your building blocks. So, let's look at the first level. Very easy, very general. What food would you like to make better? Because this story is all about making things better. What foods can't you eat? We'll fix that. Can't you eat that you would like to? If you have an allergy, like in the story, honey and milk, many people can't do that. I can't eat a lot of shellfish. I like fish and I like shrimp, but I don't like shellfish. So what parts of food should we make in a test tube? Or should we make it in a test tube? Is it safe? What about the farmer? What about the bees? Do we need bees? Talk about this. Why or why not? Write it out. Write in long answers. How can we make food better? Can we make it taste better? Can we make it a different color so it looks better? Maybe there's a food you don't like. How can you make that better so you like it? In level 2, we have more information, and this is about you. What is the strangest food you have ever eaten? It's a good question. Are traditional foods that smell bad but taste good better without the smell? Well, I think if it's strong smelling food, I like strong smelling food. And without the smell, traditional foods just don't taste the same if they don't smell good. So what is the worst smelling food you have ever eaten? The worst smelling food. I think in Korea, it would be called cheonggukjeong, which is fermented soybean soup. And there's lots of soybean stuff in Korea. But the fermented, the traditional one, really smells. And without the smell, it just doesn't taste very good. What would make people eat those smelly foods more often? I know they're trying to take the smell out of that cheonggukjeong, but it takes the taste away. So how can you take the smell out and increase the taste? Level 3 is more abstract. Still write long answers. So what can we learn from this story? It's a good question. Make sure you write a long answer. At least 3 support. Try to say something plus 3 support. That's what you want. 1 plus 3. Now really practice that in this section. Are food allergies a problem? They say food allergies are becoming a big issue. Not like before. So how can changing food DNA encourage change in diet? Would you change what you eat if some things were changed in the food? Would you eat something that you don't like? Some people, they don't like broccoli, or they don't like, asparagus, some of these things. And so, if some things could be changed, would you eat it? Would you promote designer food to your friends? I tried the vegan burger, and I would not promote that to my friends. How can this trend affect society long term? If you are starting to create food in a test tube or in a petri dish, in the laboratory, you're creating this food, how will it affect society? Will there be fewer farmers? Or maybe fewer animals? There's some really good arguments here. How can we help people with allergies and maintain originality in food? Allergies, if allergies are becoming a problem, we have to find out how to help them enjoy food without having an allergic attack. Good questions. Right, long ones? And when you, in class, you would say, one person will start. What can we learn from this story? Person 2, answer, 3 support, 2 sentences about are food allergies a problem? So now you have the question. Number 1, in our in our formula, 1 is a statement. Somebody says the question. Person 2, statement, 3 supporting, 2 questions, 2 sentences, 2 support about question 2, and go around the circle like that. Can you do it? Make sure you have good answers. You have all the answers already, so make sure that you have enough answers to make this work. Okay, that's the job for this week. This week you have answered a lot of questions. What, 14? You've added more information, and if you have 3 plus 2, because you know 3 plus 1 plus 2, that's what, 6. That's 6 sentences, 7 words long. You are ready for class when you come. Make sure you're ready. You added them because you want to communicate your whole idea. And you've expanded ideas because if you write 6 sentences, you've already expanded your ideas to reflect your opinions. You've provided support for what you think. So it's no longer just an opinion. It's a real idea. You can do it. I know you can do it. Get ready to write, bring it to class, and let's have a discussion. Be ready. You're getting closer to that debate. Start thinking like that. Till next class.